Sometimes the calmest people are the ones who've lived through the loudest storms. Not because the storm is past, but because they learned not to scream. They became quiet, not because they found peace, but because peace became the only way to survive. So if you've ever wondered why you're so calm all the time, why nothing really gets to you anymore, why you don't cry when you're hurting, don't speak up when you're overwhelmed, don't react even when something feels wrong, this might be for you. There's a version of calm that's real, and there's a version of calm that's rehearsed. We often talk about dysregulation as chaos, panic, outburst, emotional flooding. But dysregulation could also look like stillness, hyper-independence, numbness, a flat practiced, I'm fine. Sometimes we mistake shutdown for serenity, but underneath the nervous system isn't at peace. It's frozen, not relaxed, collapsed, not centered, disconnected. Where does that kind of calm begin? Often, early. Maybe you learned that speaking up led to silence, that crying only made things worse, that being needy made people disappear, so you adapted. You became the easy child, the good one, low maintenance, self-contained, mature beyond your years. You stopped asking. You stopped expecting. You stopped being a burden. But here's the thing no one tells you. That easy child was a child in survival mode. From the outside, you look grounded, composed, polite, someone who could handle anything. But inside, you were dissociating. You were managing everyone else's emotions, while quietly silencing your own. Now, as an adult, you might find that same calm still following you, in relationships, in conflict, in joy. There's a quiet grief in not knowing how to receive love, even when it's safe now. Because your body still remembers the cost of needing too much. Calm isn't always safety. Calm can be shutdown. Calm can be freeze. When your nervous system doesn't believe it's safe to express, it doesn't scream, it numbs. You stop reacting, not because nothing hurts, but because reacting never helped. You might feel like you're functioning, but barely existing. Everything looks fine, but inside, it's like living underwater. And then something strange happens. You finally meet someone kind. You land in a safe space. You find rest for the first time in years, and it terrifies you. Not because it's wrong, but because safety feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar doesn't always feel safe. The calm you knew was control. This new kind of calm, it asks you to let go, to feel again, to trust. And that's not easy for a body still shaped by fear. You might keep doing things alone, not because you prefer it, but because leaning on someone still feels risky. You might say, I'm just tired, when really you're shutting down. You might say, I don't care, when actually you care too much and it's overwhelming. This isn't a flaw, it's a pattern. A nervous system trying to keep you safe. If you spend your day zoning out, scrolling, overworking, or isolating, you're not lazy, you're self-regulating with the only tools you've ever had. You might feel empty, unmotivated, disconnected from yourself. But even that is your body doing its best not to thrive, but to endure. You learned to survive without taking up space. Now your healing will ask you to take some back. Healing isn't always soft. It's not always deep breaths and yoga mats. Sometimes it's shaking hands while you send the hard message. Sometimes it's crying after years of silence. Sometimes it's learning that it's okay to want something. Healing might feel worse before it feels better, because you're not becoming someone new. You're becoming fully yourself again. The shutdown version of you, that was survival, but it wasn't the end of the story. Let's stop praising calm without asking what it cost. Let's stop telling people, "You're so strong," when what we mean is, "I can see how much you've had to hold alone." True calm isn't cold. It doesn't dissociate. It breathes. It softens. It lets the body come home. And home takes time. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to be useful to be loved. You don't have to be calm to deserve care. Safe isn't the absence of chaos. It's the presence of connection. And it's not just silence, it's being heard. It's not just stillness, it's being held. And maybe that's the kind of calm you're ready for now. So if you've ever wondered why you're so calm all the time, maybe it's because your body learned to disappear. But you're allowed to return. You're allowed to be seen. You're allowed to feel. You were never too much, and you never had to go through it alone.